No Tanis. Nope. No Tanis. Back up. Red. Good boy. Good boy, buddy. Good boy. He's all amped up, ready to go. Ah, sit. Sit. Good. Sit. Good job, buddy. All right. Up. Good boy. Good boy. Let's go play. Let's go play.
I think people a lot of times feel like hunting dogs are just in a kennel, outside, in the elements. I've had an old man tell me that before. You can't have a pet that's also a great hunting dog. I think people think that a lot of times, but I definitely think that that's exactly what the Labrador is for. When my dogs come outside and they know they're about to go train, it's the greatest thing they've ever done. They're bouncing around. They're so freaking excited. It's not like these dogs are going like, ah, crap, like they're waiting by the door and I'm having to pull them off the doorstep to go train. Today during our training session, they were sitting by the chair ready to go for the next round while I was still loading the birds in. They're like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to go.
Watch, here they come. Here they come.
The overwhelming thing that sets me apart from a lot of the other trainers, I don't use e-collars. The dog that you get out of that isn't a dog that I want to hunt with. It's not forceless training that I do though, because there is pressure, whether it be a leash or a lead, what I have on the dog, or my physical presence.
Good boy.
I'm not hurting it physically, but there is pressure in that. And then I can also pressure a dog vocally. I tend to yell at a lot of dogs when they're doing things wrong, but I'm also going to yell at them when they're doing things right.
Attaboy, buddy. Good
right?
dog.
I'm going to cheer them on. I'm going to yell. I'm going to be vocal with that dog. In general, our approach is a lot softer than what you would normally see, which takes me longer to achieve the end goal. Could I stick a collar on a dog and get it from start to finish in 6 months? Probably. But I'm probably getting it from start to finish in maybe 10 months. I want the dog that's going to be your best friend, the pet. I'm breeding for temperament. I'm breeding for the off switch. I'm breeding for friendliness. Hopefully not barking. Like that's my whole goal, is to get this great family dog. And by the way, those 12 times, 20 times you go out, you have an absolute stud, like just a beast. They're going to pick up the ducks for you and they're going to do goofy stuff. They're a dog. Yes. I want that. I don't want a robot.
What a nut.
I set up TDF Kennels for a very specific reason. My daughters and I were looking on Facebook one morning and we saw a yellow lab had been rescued in the back of a Walmart. We already had Bear, our chocolate lab, and we thought, you know what, let's get him a little friend, let's get him a buddy. So me and the girls load up and we go down there at 9 a.m. on Thursday morning. We're the first ones there, and we look at this dog and it looks like a chupacabra. It's like mangy, hair falling out everywhere. It looked absolutely horrible. But of course I took the girls and they saw it and were like, we have to have it, he's perfect, he's perfect. I was like, all right, I paid the $86 or whatever it was to, rescue this yellow lab. We took him home and I was just calling him, come on, buddy, come on. We didn't know what his name was. I was just calling him Buddy, and the girls were like, that's his name. His name's Buddy. And it was like this dog knew that I rescued him. He was my buddy. Like, he wanted to go everywhere with me. He wanted to sit next to me at all times. He liked the girls and my wife, but it was like he just knew that me and him was a thing. I was pulling out of our driveway with a dually truck that I used to have, and I didn't know he was outside, and he was running along the side of the truck, and I had the window down, and I hit him with that tire, that extra dually tire rolled over him. I heard him yelp, and so I stopped the truck, and I jumped out, and he was dragging himself with his front legs. His back didn't seem to work, so I ran over to him, and as soon as I got to him, I kind of lifted his head up toward me, and he coughed, and when he coughed, blood just came out of his nose and mouth everywhere, and I knew. So I picked him up and I put him in the back of the truck, and I drove him back to this back pasture, and I ran inside, grabbed a gun, and I put him down myself. He wasn't going to make it to the vet, but I didn't want him to suffer any more pain. So I proceeded to dig a hole for the next 30 minutes, just weeping, just crying tears. I never thought that I would care about a dog that much. Like I like dogs, and I've always liked dogs, but not like that. I told my wife, I said, we're never getting a dog again. Once Bear's gone, I'm never getting a dog again. I'm not doing it. It makes no sense. So word spread about that story and what had happened kind of throughout town. I had a friend who called me and said, hey, there's a litter available. Why don't we go look at it? And I said, no, I have no interest in this. This was a couple weeks later. He talked me into it. Well, David had told the breeder my story. He said to me down there, he said, look, David told me your story. You have pick of the litter, and I'm going to discount the price of the dog. And I was like, I appreciate it, but I'm not doing that. I have no interest in getting another dog. So came back home, sat on it for probably 2 or 3 days, thought about it. I eventually came to the thought process that I not only owed it to Buddy to get another dog and train it correctly and not have it run after cars or run next to the truck, but I also kind of owed it to myself to redo it, and to do it right. So I went back down there about 3 weeks later. He said, are you going to hunt geese? And I said, yeah, I love hunting geese. He said, you're probably going to want a male then. So I picked up one puppy, and it was red, a little red puppy, and it was a female, so I put her back down. And I picked up the next puppy, and it was a little red male, and here he is. That became Ready Boy.
Attaboy, buddy. I thought that bird sunk on you. Good. Sit. Dead. Shake.
Our kennel, where our current kennel is located about 10 feet away from Buddy's grave. My friend across the street here built us a little wooden cross, and it says Buddy across it. And he's underneath a nice little walnut tree that's planted there that I've been grooming a little bit to kind of grow up over. So I pass it every single day when I'm going to train dogs. And it just reminds me where all of this got started. I never thought that when we picked up Buddy from the kennel, he would have sparked what we're delving into now. The original idea of, all right, we're gonna take this dog Red, and I'm gonna do everything I never got to do with Buddy, because I just didn't have him long enough.
Attaboy, buddy. Look at a big duck. Good. Dead. Good job. Nope, mine. Good. Good boy. Good dog. Good dog.
I'd like to help with that change where it's like, hang on a minute. You can be real soft on these dogs. You can be real loving, real friendly, and still get a badass hunting dog out of it that also happens to love your 2-year-old at the house. I think you can have the best of both worlds. I'm only one guy. I can only train so many dogs, right? But I know, based on our social media, that I've already shifted people's minds a lot of times on what dogs can do. And people are like, wait, you don't run an e-collar on that dog? How's he such a beast? How does he go? How do you get him to go? I'm like, it's in there. It's in there. All you have to do, it's in there. All you got to do is show him and take that energy and put it in the right direction and show him what to use it for. It's already in there. When you get out in the field, he's picking up birds because he knows you want him to. He's not picking up birds for himself. It's their absolute favorite thing in the world is to go retrieve. But I think when the times get tough and it's cold and the weather's crap, the dog's exhausted, he's not doing it for him anymore. He's doing it for you. He's doing it for the guy who's standing in the blind, cheering him on, having fun, yelling for him. That's why he's doing that retrieve. In the British gun dog world in the United States, there's some very big players. There's some very big heavy hitters. But us smaller guys, boutique style breeders, if you will, kind of have to stick together. on some of this. So I struck up a relationship, and I bought the first 2 dogs that I bought from Adam at Berry Creek Labs, not thinking that anything of it, just knew he had really good puppies, and it sparked a friendship. And so now, because I don't have females of a breeding age here in the United States, I've got a female in Ireland that's of breeding age. We have a partnership where he's got all the females. I've got some stud dogs that work well, we think, with some of his females. So we're kind of testing it out. Adam's on his way down, and he's bringing our new puppy. We got essentially first pick of the litter with his female dog Oakley and our stud dog Red. I said, just give me the reddest female. I don't care which one it is. Give me the reddest female. And so he's on his way with her, and she just happens to be the runt of the litter. So she's the shortest, pudgiest little thing, but she holds her own. In the footage I've seen of her in the videos, she'll get in there and bulldoze those bigger dogs right out of the way for food, and she's a little firecracker. In my head, her and Red meeting is just this epic explosion of fireworks and things. I don't know if that's really going to happen or not, but I think it's going to be pretty funny to see them nose to nose. And I wish he could realize, like, this is like looking into a mirror for him, you know?
All right, there she is. There she is. Hey, good girl. Good girl. Who's this? Who's that? Who is that? Who is that? Get him. Ready, boy?
They say you only get one good dog in your life, right? So I don't know if Red is one of my one good dogs, or if I already had a pretty good dog. You know, I'm not sure if I've had it yet or if I get it. But my thought is I'd like to prove that wrong, and I'd like to have many good dogs over my life, and I want to provide other people with those good dogs. So I'm going to have to keep doing that, because these guys, top end, they're living 15 years. You're getting maybe 12 years, 10 years of good hunting out of them. And I want these people to have what they think. They're going to be like, man, that was the best dog I ever got. And it came from TDF Kennels. You know, it came from us. It came from Jared.